everybody. Welcome to another episode of our Psych and Stuff short. I am Ryan Martin, and I'm here as always with
Georjeanna Wilson-Dengis.
How's it going, G?
It is going well. You know, there's a lot going on in our world, and we're in the midst of the summer before the fall of different things going on at different universities. And so I wanted to just send out a little plug that the UWGB Psychology Department is doing a really cool book club this summer. We are reading Cindy Kernahan's Teaching About Race and Racism in the College Classroom, Notes from a White Professor. And it has been a fascinating thing to read this and think about how we address this in our classes in the fall. So I just wanted to give a great shout out to my colleagues, but also to Cindy for writing such a great book to talk about. So that's what I've been up to.
So
Things did well with you?
Yeah, so I'm going to reiterate that. First of all, I think Cindy's amazing in all ways. I'm doing the same thing I was doing 2 weeks ago. I'm looking at spreadsheets all the time. But I think we should get in. We got something special happening today because as we noted in the last episode, I failed badly in my efforts to keep my research to under a minute. What we have done is bring in a very, very special guest researcher, reviewer, rapid researcher for this episode. And he's going to show up in just a second, but do you want to do the introduction?
He is a friend, a colleague, an amazing psychologist. It is our friend Regan Grung. I cannot even imagine anybody who would be a better person to stand in for the rapid research review than you, Regan. And your name starts with R too, so that's like Regan Rapid Research Review.
There you go, R cubed. You know, we had a G cubed, and now you can have the R cubed. It is actually super to be there, and I think that's what's going to be there, as it were, even though I'm here, right? But that's exactly the deal. I mean, that line between science fiction and reality, we are everywhere now, right? Is that a background, or is that actually where you are, Ryan? You know?
Awesome. So are we going to do our rapid research review? Do I get to go first?
You're going first because
so that way, like Regan, if I mess up and I go over my time, then the pressure is all on you to really do a great job. And we should say that we rolled the die last time, and we decided that we're talking about a classic psychology study. Go.
Go.
All right, so my classic study is by Walter Mischel. It is commonly known as the Stanford Marshmallows study from the 1960s and 70s, where he had 3 to 5 year old kids either be able to eat a marshmallow that they were given right away or delay gratification and eat 2 marshmallows that an adult would produce later on after 10 minutes. And he also did a follow-up study and found that students, little kids who were able to delay that gratification later on in their late teens did better on the SAT, had some better outcomes, life outcomes. However, in the replication of that study in 2018 by Watts, Duncan, and Quen, they found that that research didn't really replicate all so well. That's it.
We have to unpack that second part, but we're going to do it later after what we can say, because that's super important. I want to talk about it. So
it's super important.
Yeah. So we're going to come back to that. You did a great job reviewing the study you were reviewing, though. So we'll come back and talk about the other study later. All right.
Wow, good stuff. I love. It's like, where's the buzzer?
All right. So Regan, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. On your mark. Get set. Go.
All right. So when I thought about classic study, for many years, I've loved the doll study. And the doll study, as it's commonly called, otherwise getting at racial identification and preference, was a study done by Kenneth Clark and Mamie Clark in 1947 and was extremely influential in the very famous Brown versus Education Supreme Court case. Here's what they did in the study, right? 253 black kids, 119 from an integrated school in Massachusetts, 134 from segregated schools in Arkansas. These black kids were shown 4 dolls. 2 of the dolls were white, 2 of the dolls were black. And the researchers asked them 8 questions. They said, give me the doll you like the best. Give me the doll that looks nice, that looks bad, that is a nice color, that looks white, that looks colored, that looks black, looks like you. Wow. And that's minute. And they found high preference for the kid, for the the black kids really preferred the white dolls. There you go.
Very nice. It is hard. It is very, very hard to cover these studies in a minute. So
wow. Yeah.
So yeah. Nice. Should I roll the die?
Yes, you should.
Happening next time. All right, here we go. This is to pick our topic number 6, which is interesting. We are going to cover each other's research area. So you've got to find not an article by me, but an article about anger. And I've got to find something related to environmental psych, maybe even suburbia specifically, or gated communities, right? Dissertation.
Yep.
So
awesome! I can't wait to get angry.
I can hear the Pet Shop Boys right now.
I love it. It's been so great having you on as a guest. It's wonderful to see you.
Super to see you both.
This is the best. Hey, tell people about, I guess, 2 things I want you to plug before you go. One is your podcast, and then the other is Pedagogical Pundit, and where people can find it more.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I think Georjeanna already used the great tagline "Psych Everywhere." If you haven't checked out the Psych Everywhere podcasts, they are out and running. Some just great pieces, how to do group work, and for this, and particularly those questions that are so often asked. What do we do with a career in psychology? Jane Hallen talks about careers. Betsy Morgan talks about careers. Just there's our very own Chris Vesper talking about internships. So just a lot of very, very good stuff on the Psych Everywhere podcast. And I think check it out, subscribe, and that'll be super.
Cool. And then Pedagogical Pundit, your website.
Yeah, so if you're on Facebook and like reading about psych-related, actually education in general, Pedagogical Pundit on Facebook, and follow me on Twitter at Regan A.R. Garung.
Excellent. Very, very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Super to see you.
Here.
Goodbye.